Alright, this is part 2 of What If Female Deku Was Tiamat. Now, just before we continue with this, I added in 4 more spells that she can use after she's gone through her 10 months of training. Those being Zone of Truth, which for those of you who haven't really played D&D, is basically a spell where if somebody fails a check, I don't remember what check it is. Hold on, give me a minute. Alright, got it. It's if basically if you fail a charisma check, you cannot lie. So basically whenever she uses this, nobody can lie whenever she's using it. The next spell is Meteor Swarm, which, if I remember correctly, basically they summon a metric ton of meteors to attack. Next one, the third one is Levitate, which basically allows her to fly for a little bit. And if you're wondering, yes, I will give her wings eventually, don't worry. And the last one is Mage Hand, which basically summons a spectral hand that she can use for long range. Anyway, let's continue. So we'll pick up where we last left off with Izumi arriving home with her parents not being in the house because unfortunately they had passed a couple years ago. Actually, hold on. Sorry about that. Actually, scratch that. They didn't die a couple years ago. They had passed a year before. So, since Tiamat is 18, she's basically living on her own, but sometimes Ryoko does come over to see if Tiamat's doing okay. Just as Tiamat had grown changed, and she's currently wearing this right now. She also has the headphones, and she also does record some songs, but she hasn't released any. As Ryoko would come to her house, come over, as Tiamat is basically sitting on the couch watching TV. As she sees Ryoko coming in, as Izumi would say, no, not Izumi, Tiamat would say, Ryoko, you're here just in time. I wanted to show you the Kyoko outfit that I was working on. As Ryoko would say, oh really? Well then, let's see what it looks like. As Izumi would basically show Ryoko what a hero costume would look like. As Ryoko would say that it's sort of like hers, but with a bit more skin showing. With Tiamat saying, sorry, my brain does not want to work today. I said think instead of drink at least 3 times in a row today. So anyway, she would say that if she has more skin exposed, it'd be a lot easier to see where her wounds are. Because if she wears a lot of clothes, if she wears more clothing, it's going to be a lot harder to see where the injury is, because as we all know, clothes shuffle around a bit, so sometimes it'll be very hard to tell where the entry point of the wound is. So Ryoko understands this, as they would then begin training and studying for 10 months. I keep saying Izumi, Tiamat, there we go. Tiamat unlocking the 4 other abilities that I said before. With Izumi saying that she wants to test out this Zone of Truth ability that she has, as she would use it, as she would then Tiamat would then tell Ryoko to try and lie. as Ryoko would try to tell a lie, but she couldn't. Sorry about that. As Tiamat would find this is actually very effective, as is the last day before the entrance exam, and Ryoko and Tiamat just decide to relax and just talk about stuff. Now at this point, so here's the thing, Tiamat actually used to have her horns only a little bit off of her head, but now she sort of lets it curl out into the same horn style as Tiamat from Fate Grand Order, which I will be doing a what if on for those of you who were disappointed with this. So, and I apologize if I'd fooled any of you. Well, I wasn't intending to fool you guys, so as the day of the entrance exams would come about with either Tiamat headed to UA to take the entrance exams. As she would get there, as she's walking in, sorry about that, give me a minute. Sorry about that. As she'd hear Bakugo yell out, "What the hell are you doing here, you damn villain?" Oh yeah, so I'm not sure if I specified this in the last part, but Tiamat's eyes do look like they do in the picture. So she does have the crosses in her eyes. As she would say, look over to Bakugo as she'd say, "What are you doing here, terrorist?" As Bakugo would say, "I'm not a terrorist, you damn villain." As Tiamat would respond with, "And I'm not a villain, so stop calling me that and I'll stop calling you a terrorist." As Bakugo's ego being bigger than his intelligence at this point, and that's saying something because Bakugo is actually third ranking in Class 1A in scores, I believe, in test scores, I believe. With him then entering the building, ignoring Tiamat altogether, as Tiamat would also enter the building. With President Mike announcing the talking about the robots in the physical portion of the entrance exam, with Ida basically pointing out that there are 4 robots and not 3, and if this is an oversight by UA, I'm very disappointed. As Tiamat wouldn't really do anything because she doesn't really care. As we would then get to the written portion with Tiamat scoring first place. In the written portion, even pointing out some intentional mistakes made by Nezu. As we then get to the physical portion of the entrance exam. Oh, sorry about that. Now, I will try to describe the entrance exam as long as I possibly can. So, let's begin. Tiamat sees a girl who looks nervous. She uses her scene visibility because this is Toru Hagakure. Yes, I put Uraraka in a different spot. As Tiamat would use scene visibility, as she would see Toru's face, as she was looking quite nervous. As Tiamat would just blink over to Toru, as she would say, "Are you nervous?" As Toru would jump, as she would say, "Where the heck did you come from?" As Izumi would say, "Oh, I just teleported over here. Are you okay?" As Toru would say, "Nah, I'm just a little bit nervous." As Tiamat would say, "You don't need to be nervous. You don't need to be nervous. It's natural for you to feel nervous on an exam like this." As President Mike would begin his countdown, as Tiamat would say, "Well, best of luck to you." As once President Mike reaches 1, Tiamat blinks just past the door as everybody sees her running, with people yelling out, "Hey, she's cheating. She went before you finish your countdown." As President Mike would say, "There are no countdowns in a real battle. Everybody go." As everybody begins to run in, with Tiamat racking up some scores by blasting the robots with fire, lightning, ice, and acid, because I don't think the toxic gas that the greenhead would breathe would have any effect on any machinery that are in there. As she would also use time stop sometimes, and power and banishment as well, along with delayed blast fireball on the robots, as well as she would snap her fingers as the robots in the area would detonate, with her racking up about 126 villain points and 50 hero points, because she had helped some people if they were in trouble. As Tiamat would think that she has enough to make it into UA, but she's just going to go around and help more people, as she would run around and begin to help people some more. As in this timeline, Ryoko is a teacher at UA, and she will take Midnight's place as a teacher at UA. Now, I know some of you will be a bit mad at me for replacing Midnight with Ryoko, but remember, this is a what if, so it doesn't really matter in the grand context of things. As Ryoko is very impressed with her younger sister's progress and the fact that she's helping people, as she does notice that she had to use Mage Hand to hold the robots back, while the other exam contestants had destroyed them. As Neze would say, "I think it's time that we released the zero pointer," as he would press the button, as the zero pointer would come out, as everybody would begin to run away. As Tiamat was also about to run away, she would hear somebody calling out for help, as she'd turn around and see that Toru was stuck underneath the rubble. As Tiamat would then run, as she would use time stop, as she would stop time, as she would throw multiple delayed blast fireballs and use Mage Hand to lift up the rubble to get Toru out of there, as she would also cast Meteor Swarm, as she would resume time, as she would snap her fingers, as the fireballs would go off, basically indenting on the zero pointer, as a bunch of meteors would then strike the zero pointer dead in the chest, as it would fall over and collapse, as the torso area would begin to ignite. As Tiamat would place Toru down, as she would ask Toru if she's okay, as Toru would say, "Yeah, but it's just, I think my ankle's twisted." As Tiamat would take a look at it as she would put a hand over it, as she would then say, "Mass cure wounds." No, she would say aura of vitality as as a sort of golden glow would come off of Tiamat as the wound on Toru's leg would begin to heal over. With Toru being surprised by this, as she would ask what the name of her quirk is, as Tiamat would say that her quirk is called Queen of Dragons, Tiamat would then ask what Toru's quirk is, as Toru would say that her quirk was called invisibility, and it basically makes her permanently invisible. As Tiamat would sense that Toru sounded a bit sad when she said that nobody can see her. As Tiamat would say, "Well, if it's any consolation to you, I can see you." As Toru would say, "Wait, really? You can?" As Tiamat would say, Yeah, one of my abilities is that I can see invisible people, so I can see you just fine." As Toru would say, "Well, I'm at a major disadvantage if I fight you." As Tiamat would say, "Yeah, you kind of are." As they'd both begin to laugh, as the exam is announced to be over, as Tiamat would then head home. And that is where I'm going to end this part off. I do hope you guys enjoyed this part. And and if you guys want to see me try to do my own version of Gargantuan Leviathan What If that's going around for a while, because it was suggested to me a while ago, so would you guys like to see me do that? Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time.